Hey guys, this is Russ, and you're watching the Cabatunes YouTube channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing a contest entry for Poetry on Plastic, his 5,000 subscriber contest. Michael lives in Phoenix, and he is in the symphony orchestra out there, and he is an oboe player. Actually, the oboe is my favorite instrument in the orchestra. He has a great collection that ranges over a lot of different genres. He likes jazz, rock, different types of metal, and of course classical, just to name a few. He wanted us to answer 6 questions for his contest, and without further ado, let's get into the questions. First question is a record by the first band you saw live. The first band I saw live, it was 1986. I was 10 years old and lived in Mobile, Alabama. And my dad took me and my brother to go see Stevie Wonder during this tour, the N Square Circle tour. It was a great concert. I was pretty mesmerized by what I saw that night, but just a legend in his prime in the mid-'80s. Number 2, a record you listened to the most when you were 17. Sadly, I don't have this record yet. STP Core, Stone Temple Pilots, is a record that I listened to the most when I was 17, which would have been in 1993. So I have fond memories of being in high school and jamming out in the car to some Stone Temple Pilots. Definitely miss Scott Weiland and just some of the concerts that I saw them put on back in the day were pretty incredible. All right, a record that was your entry point into a genre. I remember hearing this song on the radio back when I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was, but Chuck Mangione, Feel So Good, is what really kind of got me into jazz. A song that everybody's probably heard at least once, if not 1,000 times in their lifetime, but really intrigued me into instrumental music and the jazz genre in particular. All right, a record to show off your stereo. I found this a while back at an antique mall for only $5. It's an original Fleetwood Mac self-titled record, and at the time I didn't know what I had, but in the dead wax on this is Kendon A on both sides, and it's got a heart and POGO on one of the sides. But this record is very dynamic, sounds amazing. The bass on this is rumbling, and the guitars and drums on this just really jump out of the speakers. So this is a great pressing to look out for, but sounds great on my system, and this would be one that I would use to show off my stereo to people. Another would be Dave Brubeck's Timeout, probably my favorite jazz record. This is a 2i Columbia here that's in near mint condition. This sounds great. I've been eyeing the Analog Productions copy and definitely would like to pull the trigger on that and buy that eventually. But right now this copy will have to do, but still a great sounding copy. All right, a record that is horribly mixed, recorded, that you love anyway. Steely Dan, Katie Lied. I put it on and could tell that it sounded like to me that there was almost like a towel over my speakers. It was fairly dull and muted. It didn't sound that great. So I actually went online and Googled this album, and can't remember if it was on the Hoffman forums or I believe it was on, could have been a magazine article that talked about Steely Dan was using technology at the time, the DBX noise reduction technology, and In the studio, they used it incorrectly. This does not sound great. I don't think any copy of this record that I've researched sounds really all that great. But it was due to that recording process. But great album. Another record that I really love, and one of the best records I think of all time, Carole King's Tapestry. What an amazing songwriter and a great album. But this is an original copy on Ode. This just doesn't sound that great to me. Just fairly dull and not that, it's pretty lifeless. I've been eyeing the MoFi and heard that it sounds really good, so I'll eventually pick that up. But great record that just doesn't sound that great. All right, and lastly, a future upgrade that you want to make to your system. I've got several upgrades that I want to make, but one in particular is my turntable. I currently have an Audio Technica LP60, and I want to upgrade to a Fluence RT84. It has a 2M Ortofon blue, and it also has an aluminum platter with a rubber mat. And so I've heard a lot of good reviews on that turntable, and think it would really benefit my system in regards to the sound quality that's produced. I eventually also want to buy some speakers and probably a new receiver as well. But the first thing that I want to invest in is a new turntable. So, well, that does it for my video entry for the Poetry on Plastic contest. Great job, Michael, on your channel. Always love watching your videos and listening to your analysis on sound quality of different pressings. And just keep up the good work. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.